Okie dokie, I think we're live. Let's do the bit of promo. Welcome all VOD viewers. Welcome to a definitely legitimate stream. Definitely a normal stream too. Yeah, we're on we're doing Stanley Parable today. And Ultra Deluxe, of course. But we're gonna do all the bucket endings. Yes, bucket. Much bucket. Let me see something. Okay. Boom. What's up? Happy? I love being happy. But why'd we waitin'? Oh, you're kidding me. No. It's not my birthday. It's not my birthday. No. He's back. Eutychus is back. No. My birthday is here. No. Oh my gosh, I'm ruined. Well, maybe I am. Oh, that was great. For the fun of it. Let's, no, I think I posted it in all the places I need to. Well, I could do it here. Just doing a bit of promo. Okay. So you guys know the deal. It's Stanley Parable. We've done most of the normal paths. But I have learned that there are a few that I have not done. And I have a little Yeah, I'm looking. Sorry. I have a flowchart. Yes, I have a flowchart. That's what I'm looking at. Trying to see. I think I've done the powerful ending, which is basically where I jump off the lift. Supposedly, if you get on, it's. I'm looking at one ending, and it says get to the cargo lift section, and what you need to do is back off quickly, let it go, then jump. Which I don't know what that means at all. Also, there's an escape pod ending. I want to try to do the escape pod. Okay, let's load up the game. Yeah, the escape pod ending is one that looks very confusing. And then we'll do all the stuff with the bucket. And we also need to find the Stanley Figs, the Stanlerines, or whatever we call them. Oh, wait. Okay. There we go. Okay, we got the continuation of the man and the thingy, the man and the computer. I'm gonna set it to this. It's a bit more than barely visible, but it's fine. Please adjust the slider until the dog and the cat are friends. Boom. Please adjust the slider until the number 5 becomes number 9. Boom. Please adjust the slider until you stop adjusting the slider. And right there. Which of the two made-up words below is most appealing to you? Occuboinkle, or scrumptious? I like occuboinkle. I'm gonna go like that. Please don't adjust the slider. Okay. Do you know what time it is right now? Yes. I'm a bit late to stream. Is the time that it is right now the correct time? I certainly hope so. What is time anyway? No. Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? Yes. Yes. Will you come back to visit me? Yes. Ah! What? No, come back. Okay. That's not ominous at all. Yeah.
This is.
Yep. I don't really care. Okay. Okay, let me get my flow chart out. How do I? Oh wait, I know what I can do. Is chat really small on screen? What if I do that? There we go. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think this is gonna work. It's alright, okay. Alright, let's,
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Figure Finders Committee meeting today. Okay, I wanna get the few endings I haven't got yet.
When Stanley
we'll
came
go
to a
this
set
way.
of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just
Speed
to
run
admire
time.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his.
It's all right, lol. Oh, no, that's what you said.
Left.
I'm reading chat all over again.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make it.
Is that a challenge? I've got very springy legs.
I'm sure you'll survive the jump. Don't tell me you're scared. That's not the Stanley I know.
I am incredibly scared.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it. Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
Whoops. My bad. Pardon me, Stan.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh no, I'm horrible.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
One final ending before we do the
Stanley
thing.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Bum bum ba da 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 da. Whoa. Trust the completionist instinct. Why would they just tell us something will happen? This investigation, this room, they feel pointless, to be honest. Agenda. How can you tell you spotted one? What makes them float in the air? Who took these pictures of them? Stanley figs are hard to find. Follow clues provided by employee 416. I know that guy. We can do it. There will be a reward for finding them all. Okay. I need a large room, lots of boxes. Stairs, something to do with stairs. Somewhere both red and blue. Gotta collect them all. 5 there be. Just take 3 from me. Looks like 427, ha ha ha. Is this some kind of game? There must be a point to all of this. I don't know. I don't think we're in a game. Okay.
Coming
we
to
go
a staircase,
up here.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, let me check the chart. We go up the stairs. We approach the boss's office. Out back. Let the door shut. Did I ruin it already? This is nice. Okay. Okay. Who wants a bucket?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There's usually a thingy right there.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed
I got
over
the
him.
bucket. Okay. Oh wait, we can do the achievement now. Let's see.
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch, but it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket.
Gotta believe in the bucket.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No,
Yeah.
no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause.
We've already heard it, dude.
Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
I gotta be close, right?
No, I'm still not feeling it. You see, now that you've gotten the bucket involved, my standards have gone
Oh
up.
no!
Merely clicking a single door is no longer enough. Now, I want to see you press this bucket against multiple doors. Now, that's the kind of thing that merits an achievement. Why don't you put 20 bucket touches into door 417?
417, 417, 417.
Okay, great. Now, go touch the bucket on door 437 a few times.
437, 437, 4. 37.
Yes. Now we're getting somewhere. How about door 415? Give it some bucket love.
It's the same thing, but it's bucket-fied.
Now back to door number 437.
Back to door 437.
You know, I think the copy machine needs some attention. Well, all right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Okay. I didn't realize picking up the bucket would actually really
now bring the
do
bucket on top of
anything.
employee 419's desk. Yes, this is great. Now the bucket knows exactly what it's like to be employee 419. Now, let's introduce it to door 416.
416, this is where we got stuck last time.
We've almost got it. Now make the bucket and the copy machine touch again.
That doesn't sound weird at all. Okay. Bucket, touch the copy machine.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 touches of the bucket on door 430.
Wait. 1, 2, 3,
Yes,
4,
we
5.
did it.
I got the achievement.
Oh, that felt amazing. You know, not all buckets will get this kind of experience. They won't all know what it's like to slam repeatedly against nearly every door in one section of an office building.
Wait, can I go?
Or what it's like to be employee 419. Buckets may dream of an experience like this, but few can say they've truly lived it. You've given a bucket hope today. Stanley, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed,
Bucket lore.
desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent
Oh my
humans,
goodness.
and the bucket's own complicity therein.
Oh
of
no.
sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken
Bucket's got
to
trauma.
curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger. Of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so
Wow.
much more, There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
All right, later, Amelia.
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured
Oh my
vaults.
goodness.
I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why would we even
Things just escalated.
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had
no.
all 12 emblems of
It was a
and
paint
new
bucket.
incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again
Gaza,
go
thank you for the
trifling with this
follow.
bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
Welcome to the stream. I killed a bucket. Not every game you get to say that.
All of his co-workers had gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
I love my bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I'll go this way. Because I know where one of the Stanlerines is. We go this way because it's the hint. Stairs. Something to do with stairs. There's one place I know where stairs are, and it's right
Coming to a
here. We already went up.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
So... Aha!
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by one? You sit on it. I'm sure it will.
I thought you did too. It's cool though. Narrator, I like Stanlerines. Alright, let's see.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
Why had
because
I?
he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
You would think I was crazy.
Something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself,
Maybe
I am crazy.
Maybe I am
He
crazy.
looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy?
Am I crazy?
The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought.
Yeah,
Usually
strange.
the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in
Yeah.
difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just
not my
a normal,
bucket.
everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his
Not my bucket.
And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd.
Whoa.
And now he felt himself floating off the ground.
Get in the doorway.
Exclaimed,
Get in the doorway.
Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it.
I
Far
need
off in
it.
the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
I'm coming.
Stanley, it's me, the
I'm
bucket.
coming.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
No.
Come to me, Stanley.
I'm coming.
Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend.
dang,
It was the
so
only way to
much.
truly restore his sanity. And then
I
suddenly,
need it.
he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from.
Oh no.
The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
That's
This is
nice.
the story of a woman named
Oh.
Mariella.
Oh, sweet. There's a new character.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was.
I definitely landed face
This
up.
man
This
had
is
no
inaccurate.
bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and
Obviously.
raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been
What?
prevented if
A
only he'd
video
taken
game?
his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How
Exactly.
cruel the world can be, Mariella thought,
I
and she hugged
know.
her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work.
You got
in
it,
which her bucket
Mariella.
would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything.
Absolute.
Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass.
Eh.
And she backflipped all the way to work.
Oh my gosh, she's doing backflips. Whoa. Whoa.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Someone left out a ton of papers. Wow. Okay. Well, welcome.
Spread
Welcome,
from
Guzza.
Stanley's
I hope that was
With the
a
bucket in his arms again,
accurate
he was home.
representation of what we're doing. It's a choose your own adventure.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, we're gonna rebel. Bum,
This
bum.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this
Yeah.
better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was.
It truly
How
was.
insightful the bucket turned out to
So
be.
insightful. Moving on.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Hey, watch it.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the
Yup.
meeting room.
I would do
No,
great at a
said
real
the bucket.
job.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
You got it,
Cargo
Bucket.
lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Okay.
Stanley did
Oh,
not
wait, we're
question
going
why
up.
or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Nice, we ran away.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point.
Oh my
Stanley,
goodness.
how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless,
Well,
what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
I'm very
I suppose That would
uneducated.
explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly.
Okay.
So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket.
Okay.
Please, step in here for a moment.
That's convenient. Okay. Oh, we're loading.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us
Okay.
everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket.
Okay.
Let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Well, you see, you raise a very difficult question, and ultimately it is determined by what you define to be a bucket. You see, in the traditional sense, a bucket is a unit of measurement, but it's also something that can hold other objects. You see, and I can't tell if it's a hole on the bottom. Of course, if it were to hold something bigger, I will say it is a bucket.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Fair enough.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Very interesting. You pulled the old-fashioned hologram trick on me. So, I'm guessing that this is probably like a cake shaped like a button or something. Bucket, not a button. I'm gonna press the no button.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Well, I suppose that is determined by whether a bucket is a shape or an
Item
actual
3.
object.
Is this a bucket?
Is this a bucket? Well, it looks rather bucketish, but by your definition, something can either be a bucket or not be a bucket. If it is modified in any way to become a bucket, it is not. So I'm going to say no.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Dang it. Okay. Next one. Hit me with your best shot.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
You know what? This has gone beyond sanity. Yes.
What? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
Fine. My bad. My bad. Oh my gosh.
Is this a bucket?
Fine. No, it's not a bucket.
Incorrect. This is a
What?
bucket.
I'm crazy.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Yes, it's a bucket.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What? How can it be both?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Okay. Narrator? My button's lit up. Yes.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here.
That's
And I
valid.
don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
No, I disagree with you there.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective.
Yeah.
What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago, I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift.
With
Do
that
any
tractor.
of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Yeah, that's possible.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm
You have
afraid
a
the
self?
bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No.
Okay.
No. Oh.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Wow.
Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket
nice.
either. Oh, this is
Yo, I'm not a
wonderful
bucket,
news.
I'm
We're not
special.
buckets. Yes, I
My
actually
mom
feel
always
much
said
more
I
at
was
ease
special.
right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that.
Okay.
Who knows what that information might do to a person. All right, here we go.
All right. You got it, Captain. All right.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
You know, I do try to be careful with time. Who knows what that'll do to you? All right, let's grab
Stanley
the
picked up the
bucket.
bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I was gonna
But
turn
Stanley
back for
had
a
felt
moment
the
there.
bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better? No, never mind. The
Nope.
bucket was wrong.
I want to go
Stanley took the door on
through
his left
here,
to go back to the meeting room.
and I'm gonna go this
No,
way.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top.
I will
There's
do
something
that.
up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question
You
why
got
or
it.
how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley
Obviously.
chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him,
Yep.
and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Oh, that was almost bad.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Oh. Okie dokie.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Oh. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press G to take me to work with you. Oh,
The Stanley
man.
Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Oh, dang. Press J to take me home with you.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Press V to go back to work.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen
Yup,
to me.
yup, I
It's
can.
just a bucket. It can't think. It
It's
can't
not
talk.
just a
All it
bucket.
would ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location.
It can
That's
also hold
It doesn't
objects
do
smaller
anything
than it.
else.
Don't listen to the loud man. Press Z for us to go back home. You got it, bucket.
You see, he's
Oh,
not
we
listening.
remodeled.
He's still
Very
taking
nice.
orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time, it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Press P to ignore anyone in your life except for me. Absolutely, sir,
It's
bucket
sad.
slut.
I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press V to go back home. Alright, we'll go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket.
Yeah,
It's just a little
see?
more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be
Yeah.
better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press M to relive the same day with me over and over. My pleasure.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Would be better if the Stream War winner was holding it. You can't have my bucket. Press K to work. To go home to work, to home to work, to home to work. Okay.
Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket.
Don't resist.
No,
Okay.
What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket?
Nope,
Hear
we're
what the
getting
bucket
out of
has
here.
to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing.
No.
Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
My bucket.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it.
Close your eyes. It'll all be over. Go back to work, Stanley. Okay. Phew, nightmare's over. Okie dokie.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
How you doing, Shotgun? Welcome to the world's most normal game ever. Nothing weird happens in this game at all.
The good old bucket.
The
Just
good old
Stanley and the
bucket.
bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
What's a room with a lot of
Stanley
boxes?
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oh wait, we could
This
go
was not
down
the
the
correct way
elevator.
to the meeting room, but Stanley had
This
felt
way.
the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Sorry, bucket.
Stanley took the door on his left
Meow.
to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Alright, here we go. Another ending.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Oh my goodness. It's
You see,
Promazine.
your friends and I are concerned
Prazaman.
for you, Stanley.
And
We've come
baby.
together here because we care
And,
about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel
Okay, I'll sit
content.
down.
We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another
No.
story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
But I like the broom closet. Okay, fine. We can go on the adventure line. Hello, Fern.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Bum, 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 bum. Da, 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 da.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
What?
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
What? I already told you in the last game I don't like Prazaman.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
What?
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
No.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
It
Surely
makes
you don't need me to
buckets.
spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
No, I can't. Chat, I can't destroy
Now
the
listen
bucket.
to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the bucket destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the bucket destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits.
Oh my
What other
gosh.
object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of bucket destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this.
Not the keychains.
Okay, the bucket destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and
things
feed
are
it.
getting
We
blurry.
can't get back to the classic Stanley
Bucket,
Parable
you're the only thing
like
that's
the
not
Adventure
blurry.
Line or the bucket destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now.
Language,
the fans
please.
are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
No! Interesting. Whoa, it's Halo theme song.
The bucket destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Ah. That's nice. Are we good? Okay. I had a thought. There's only one other room with boxes.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Remember that time? I showed up to work. I thought everybody went missing, and I spent 26 hours just
Where are we
wandering
going today?
around.
The bucket asked. Stanley just...
Oh my gosh. I saw that. What did you do? Okay, I'm not gonna address that right now.
Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Gotta go make another video now. Alright, later, Shotgun.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
The only other area with boxes is the area with the cargo lift.
Simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind.
And also, if it's not in here, I can just jump off.
The door on his left to go back.
If I don't get what I want, I can just jump off.
No,
said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Okay, detour. Okay.
Okay, this is day number 295, tape number...
252.
No, I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes.
Oh my goodness.
The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense.
Narrator sound
There's
system.
no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Are there worldly noises?
Camporata.
No. It's Gambarata. I got chills from that. Okay, what happens if we do that without the bucket?
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers.
We just had this
How
line.
amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing?
Gambarata.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
That's
this
the
was
guy
not
who
the correct way
turns
to
the
meeting room,
bucket
and
into
Stanley knew
the-
it perfectly well.
The
Perhaps
guy
he wanted
into
to
the
stop by
bucket.
the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business.
Very
Stanley took the
interesting.
first open door on his left.
Let's see.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay. If I do the same thing but without the bucket, do I get something different?
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten
Aha.
path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through,
The
and
back
it
and
all
forth.
turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Oh, dang. Okay. Well, time to grab the bucket.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Sounds about right. I mean, what?
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a
humble bucket.
a committed bucket, a bucket of
Culture and distinction.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the
Yep,
meeting room.
no, not the
But
right
Stanley had
way.
felt the bucket calling to him, telling
Going
him
to
that
the
employee
employee
was
lounge.
simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room.
Go
Go somewhere else.
else. The cargo lift, yes. Go
The
there.
cargo.
Go to the cargo lift.
You're
Ba-boom.
getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one. And then the
Yay.
first number will equal the second number. And that will be it.
The
We'll be
first
different
number
people
will
by
equal
then.
the second.
Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all.
Yeah.
You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Alright. Now what happens if I just fall off?
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms.
Mm-hmm.
How deeply touching.
So touching. All right, who wants to shut down activate a mind control machine?
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again. Ah, the embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his
All right,
chest.
let's take a look at the
and
meeting
entered
room.
the door on his left.
And we go here. Yep, I've got one left. How can we find them? Bottom text. We have to synergize our resources to ensure their retrieval. There are many questions. There was no memo from management. Okay. Already did that. We went
Coming
down
to
the
a staircase,
stairs, which
Stanley
is just
and
an
the
abrupt
bucket walked
ending.
upstairs to the boss's office.
We got the one from the bathroom.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this
284.
revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire.
Oh my
if not
gosh,
for
I'm an
the
emotional
soothing
dumpster
presence of the
fire.
bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always.
Yep.
The bucket would. And he knew it.
Yep.
The two of them were inseparable.
Oh my gosh, shut
At
up.
this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Thank you.
Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Is there anything back? Oh my gosh, that'd be a great spot for an Easter egg. Okay.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, I don't trust you.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Aha! It's a clue! I think I need to press 3333. That's my hint. 3333. 3333. Yeah. It's an achievement.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life.
I do
Stanley
like the
looked
number 3, you
expectantly
know.
at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him?
Come
Once
on.
Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Come on. How many times you gotta do it? I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it. How's everybody's day going? Mine's 3. I mean, free. I mean, fine. Give me the achievement. 2, 3, 3. 3, 3, 3, 3. 3, 3, 3, 3. Me, likey, number 3. Fine.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
I know, right?
A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should he demonstrate the number 3 for the bucket again?
Yeah, let's do that.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Here we are.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3.
3 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 trace 3 3 trice 3 3 3 3
Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing.
3 3 3 3
The bucket
3
conveyed absolutely
triple
nothing at all.
3 3 3 3
Only
triplet.
silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
Dang. It was fun. Oh, I'm stuck. What? Oh my gosh. Okay.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's?
Yeah.
The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
I'll show him. There might not be any more dialogue. That might be the end of 3. There we go.
I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's.
That'll work.
And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work. For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
It was a Minecraft door there. To stage 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 3.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
All right, here we go.
There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. No. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure. And in that moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant.
No.
They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. there would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
That's sad. Oh, it's not what I wanted. What's a room that's both red and blue?
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of them. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
The whole room gets a bit of a tent in there. Funky fluorescent lights.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
5.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Come
Was
on,
the bucket
let's
guiding
go.
him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Let's escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
That's,
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nah, that'd be crazy.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
You know what? Nah. Who needs a boring, safe life? Never been that type of person. Ah, seems familiar. Oh no.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to
Wow.
embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death?
That is
This
very
is what Stanley
fair.
thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time
Why
carrying
is
a
the
bucket
audio
everywhere.
a bit off?
Farewell, Stanley.
Narrator! Huh. Who could have seen
"Farewell,
that
Stanley,"
coming?
cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's
Visceral.
life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Oh, but what about mine? Well, the
It was
Stanley
a shame,
Parable.
the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious
Oh, I don't have my
to
bucket.
behold.
No! My bucket! The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like the bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and sustained. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? What will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were, in ignorance and darkness? Yeah, sure, whatever. Sounds cool.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Bucket. 25 buckets. A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. That looks like a lot more than 25 buckets. Maybe closer to 50. Or 100, probably. Okay. The bucket with 2 handles. This bucket is depicted as having 2 handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death for just attempting it. Oh my goodness. I once had a bucket with 2 handles. You just stick 2 of those like gallon buckets in together, or like 2-gallon buckets. The Inferno Bucket. I can't read all of these. Pause the VOD or stream if you really want to read it. The Stress Bucket, presented without commentary. Very well. Oh my goodness. Cave drawings. Huh.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always just out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. Haha, my bucket. Talk about distance. I got a lot of
But there
legs.
is something we can do. Something
Ooh.
we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
Okay, we're gonna steal the bucket.
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine.
Well,
Don't
okay.
reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision for...
Ow. I stubbed my toe. Jeez, this lady's a jerk. Oh, great, I died. Okay, what? Let me look at my my flowcharts. What did I will read that later. My flowchart. Where is the flowchart? A flowchart. Where is a flowchart? Let's see. Bottom of the staircase, the toilet, the room. Oh! It's the red and blue door, which we haven't done the bucket ending for.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself.
Yippee.
This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
I'm a big fat introvert. I mean, sorry.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket.
I love introverts. I'm a bit of
very
one.
lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed.
I'm very lucky.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his
Oh, wait, hang on. I need to restart. I can't have the bucket.
How long was I
Scraps.
sitting there?
Okay.
Stanley wondered to himself.
Well, that screen
Minutes?
is...
Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
He made me need to be more careful with time. You sound like Amelia. Oh, brother.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
It was okay.
Eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
Okay.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is
3,
that the
2,
story
1.
has been about nothing but...
What? That was almost
really?
close.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly.
It's a Stiggly Wiggly.
This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So,
of course.
Instead, I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
I'm gonna restart the game. That's what I'm gonna do. Go back to the beginning. No narrative.
Stanley, I'm sorry,
What?
but I have to put a pause on things. It's
What?
it's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't
It was
just the
2
most
seconds ago.
intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
I mean, a bit.
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines.
Fine.
Just one more time.
Now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles. This isn't supposed to be happening. We're not supposed to get a reward. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be one of those, like, this isn't a reward. It's just something that happens when you collect all of them.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible.
Can you find
Back then,
them?
we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain?
I know,
We were
right?
so innocent. We'll never be like that
Innocent.
again, Stanley.
Well, I'm always innocent. I would never. I got 7 out of 6. Wonderful. And then we got the
And
bathroom
here
one.
was a second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest.
Yay.
Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Fantastic. Whoa, things have shifted.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
Well, there's not one in the boss's office, so it was under the stairs.
No. Under the stairs was the fourth place you found a Figanley, not the third.
Oh.
Well, I guess perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they? You know what? If under the stairs feels like the third place you
Wait,
found
where's
a
the other
collectible,
one?
then who am I to go making judgments?
It wasn't in the boss's office. Okay.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Yup. 10 out of 6. Definitely been here before.
This was the fifth mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion.
Okay, I'm an editor. Oh yeah. How you found it by the narrator. Oh, page peel. Let's go. What's that back there? Oh my goodness. It's mini stand number 5. Oh yeah. Teamwork. Bum, bum, bum. You found it near the cargo lift. Bum, bum. Oh yeah. Credits by directed by the narrator, edited, music, produced, Best Boy, starring Stanley. See the narrator.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything
I
else.
couldn't tell. So where was the other two?
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others.
Yeah, that's possible.
Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected.
I could see how
was
you
a
would think
moment
that.
unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which
Of
it
course.
was exactly like.
Of course. I go through the red, they're the same, okay. What?
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Oh, okay, bye.
No, I'm not.
Oh.
I'm ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here
Huh?
and keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Okay. This feels wrong.
Okay, yes. The room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Oh, okay. Okay. You know, you're not supposed to dwell on the past much, but alright. And we go back through here.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yep.
I love that video.
It was a fantastic video, narrator.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this
Yeah.
one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Yeah, solid room. Yep. Not bad at all.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Of course, of course. No reward at all. Uh-huh.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figlarines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
This room. This funky room.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything. I dare
Yes.
say I'm
Okay.
actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
Oh, yes.
The two doors.
Ah,
Who
yes.
could have forgotten that?
The
Classic
original
memory,
two
this one.
doors. Yep, connected still.
And before everything else, there was your office.
Uh-huh. Obviously.
Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Oh, no. He went too far back.
Yes, I'm remembering something now.
Whoa.
I
Whoa.
remember before this whole story got started. Back
I'm
then
not
I
in
was,
control.
I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely?
Am I just
Yes,
in a figment
perhaps
of your
that's it. Perhaps I
imagination?
needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Is this an actual reset?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Okay. I'm gonna do that. I'm going to quit the game so we can get the startup screen again. Sorry. Ate a Starburst. just nommed it. What time is it? Does anyone really, truly know? Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all of the game settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do, like a day job. And now, the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can. I still don't really know you. And you don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. What? No. You won't have me here when the game starts next time, but that's okay. Video games were meant to be played alone. You like being alone, don't you? No, I really don't. That's maybe the only information I really learned about you. Well, it's time for me to leave. There is still one more setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. It's not really in my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again, if you can find me. Talk soon. Okay. It's the epilogue time! Let's go! We get the epilogue. 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 Many, many years later. Wow. We're back here. We're back where it all began, where I killed the narrator. We are creating a multiverse of Stanley choices. Oh, this is nice. Got a little fire. Don't know how I got the wood, but I'm sure it's dry without any clouds in the sky. And, yeah. Very homey. Very nice. Homely. Okay, no! Chair, oh, there's plenty of chairs. Okay, well, this just is rough. I'm gonna move this way, because, gotta fight the wind! It's okay, I mean, wait, this way. I'm coming. Gotta get to those chairs. Okay, never mind. Very peaceful. Why is the music so loud? Oh, next day. Oh, it's the sun. It's very pretty sun. I cannot talk, apparently. I have developed a stutter. Oh my gosh, I'm starting ruins, and is it an illusion? It's not an illusion, is it? Don't do that to me. It's just hot, right? Please, please, please. You're real, you're real, you're real, right? Okay, it feels real. The Stanley Parable 2. Okay. Where are we going now? The Stanley Parable 2. Like so many, I enjoyed the game with the original Stanley Parable, which underscores how truly disappointed I am with its sequel. Where the first game teamed with originality, the second Stanley Parable is dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fan base. Rather than expand on what the first game made enjoyable, the sequel veers off into terrible territory nobody asked for. It's Cookie Nine's blog. Oh no. What's this way? Stanley Parable developers. No more spin-offs, no more sequels. No.
Jim.
Oh my gosh, it's my name. My name is Jim.
Jim.
Oh, my roleplay mind is going crazy. Okay. Oh, wait, this is where we started. Oh. Over here, what's this? Oh, is that Stan Lorene's? Gotta catch 'em all. Boom, boom. We got 25, 26 out of 6. We got 6 extra. Ooh, sand. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Okay. Oh. Hello again. I found him! I found him! It's nice to see you. Oh, it's good to see you too, Mr. Computer. But it's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Did you read what the developer said? Preserve the integrity of the franchise. What nonsense. The Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back. And if people hate it, who cares? You see, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. It's not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together, we are going to make the Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All we do is change the number in the game's title screen. We also need a really dumb subtitle for the game, something loud and gaudy. Go ahead, try combining some random words together to make a new title for our game. Okay. Stanley Parable 3. Let's do... The end is never the gun. No. First full night of computer virus. Saturday night content. Saturday night square offline gun. Dealing with the gun. Why do I like the gun? Snake. Wacky snake. Saturday night snake. Saturday night train station. Let's go. It's absurd. I love it. Thank you. Every time you restart the game, we'll advance the number of the sequel by 1, and then we'll pick a new subtitle. That way, the Stanley Parable will never end. And nothing in the game itself will change when you do this either. Adding more content sounds like work. No need to do that. It'll just be the same content, recycled again and again and again, with a new title screen. I am getting into lore. Do you seriously have to do this? Okay. One moment, everybody. The Doggo Stream Menace has Stream Menaced again. What do you say? Should we go forward with this plan? I like it, but I want you to have a say as well. Let's do it. Good, then it's agreed. A new sequel every time you start the game. And now you know what. No, and you know what? Since you've put faith in my idea, I feel like giving you something as well. You see, I'm noticing that the narrator never found a way to give you the broken achievement, did he? Of course not. I wouldn't expect him to know how. It's bothering me. Let's fix that. Alright there. The achievement machine is all fixed. You see, I'm on your side. We're in this together. We're going to keep this train rolling. The Stanley Parable cannot end. It can only spiral in on itself forever. I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Are you? Great, there's only one last thing we need to do. Please enter the current time. Let's go! Oh, this makes me so happy. Actually, it'd be easier to go down. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Yeah, whatever, screw it, I'm already going. Okay, confirm. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Thank you. Please enjoy the Stanley Parable. Saturday night train station. Let's go. Okay. All right. We'll play like 1 or 2 like runs, and then we'll restart the game. Okay, this is great. Okay.
This is
Yeah. Yada 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 yada. Okay. We never.
all of his co-workers were gone.
We never did
What could it
the.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
We
Perhaps
never
he had
took over
simply missed
the.
a memo.
Shut up. We never took over the mind control facility or machine or whatever it's called.
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
Oh, you can go back to the expo hall. That's interesting.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and
I'm
comfort
singing
now
Moana,
more than
aren't I?
ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not
2,
an
8,
indication
4,
of any human
5.
life.
5.
Crushed but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go walking, boys.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Yep. Mind control facility. I'ma own this place. Let's go. Chaotic run. Boop.
The lights rose
Light goes
on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Oh
What
my
horrible
goodness.
secret did this place
That's
hold?
another ending.
Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I'm gonna rule the world. Mwahaha.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
Oh,
Everyone in the office was
That's
being
okay.
videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the
No.
bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
I don't
These
know.
questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket.
No.
He couldn't accept it.
I can't
His
accept
own
it.
life in someone else's control. Never! He
Never.
squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
You're my only friend, Bucket.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way.
Oh,
And
yeah.
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on
What?
the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and
Bucket.
claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in
It's got a
disgust
face.
when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds.
Are there gonna be
Control button
geese?
became active
mean, what?
again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all.
It's a
It was a
goose. Wait,
facility
is that
for
a goose?
monitoring and
Yeah, I think it's a
surveilling
goose.
silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the
Aw.
rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best.
That's getting
And
meta
Stanley
there.
was happy.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, so now we quit to menu. We quit to desktop, and we reload the game. Which route do we want to take this time? Oh, we got new ones. Game of Didgeridoo. Let's do avoid the ice. Dealing with the 427. The skeleton 427. The final boyfriend. Game of swimming pool. The final pirate. I like boyfriends. Oh my goodness. It went noir and it's Stanley Parable number 4. Alright. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I feel like I missed a very important message on Discord, so let me address that quickly. But it was not important. Okay, yeah, I will deal with that later. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
Oh, I know
Stanley
what we can
cradled
do.
the bucket in a gentle
Go to the
embrace,
phone, but pull the
protective,
plug.
Yet delicate, assertive, yet compassionate. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his. This was not the correct way to
Yep,
the meeting
nope,
room.
it was not.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Dang.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nope.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go
Go there.
Good.
Said the
Said
bucket.
the bucket.
Now
We're
ride the
going
lift
down
all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was
I'm not gonna
speaking
question
to
it.
him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley
Stanley
chose
chose
not to
not to
think
think
about
about this
obvious
obvious fact.
He was firmly
Firmly
convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I don't know why I find it so
In
fun.
here.
said the bucket.
to
Go into this dark
talk
room over here.
him.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
1, 2, 3, 4. Ow.
Now pick up the phone.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer?
Making me sound
or
like an
spoken
idiot.
quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it.
Yeah,
But
you're
there
pretty
isn't
good.
Exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully. Oh wait, yes, there is. It's
YouTube
sitting right here.
exists.
Let's take a look.
All right, here we go.
What is comedic timing?
I have no
What
idea.
is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies?
That
and
is an
more
important
importantly,
question.
can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive
That's
deeper.
not helpful.
If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the
Okay.
humor.
I've struggled
Speak
with
the
spelling your
entire
name.
joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny now.
Good.
Wait, hang on.
This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy.
Okay.
Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian.
Okay.
An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to
Okay.
ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal,
Okay.
you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter
Okay.
and even tripled over in laughter in no time at
Oh
all.
my goodness.
Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles.
What?
All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Oh. Nice.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think
Yeah.
the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Okay. Oh, dang, I can't do it.
I can feel it.
I
This
wanna
time,
jump off.
I'm really going to nail
Let
the
me
delivery.
jump
You'll
off.
be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows
I
where
can't
we'd be
wait to
right
hear
now.
your real name,
But I
narrator.
wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to
Okay.
overthink things.
Your voices aren't half bad. I'll give you that. You know, yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. That's what I'll say. I'll stick with that. I'll stick with that story. Wouldn't want to hurt your feelings or anything, of course.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Aha!
What? We're back at the phone already? No.
Dang.
What's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point. A dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the 2 doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of king of comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp.
No.
I think I need to go back.
No, please
and
don't.
watch that instructional video again.
No.
Yes,
No.
surely that will help me improve my... Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Okay, I will help you out.
No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over.
Okay.
It's all your fault, Stanley.
Okay,
I'm going to be
I'm going to
ridiculed
run
in the
away.
community of other joke writers.
Yep,
I'm going to be
that's a real
shamed
thing.
at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me
No,
down, Stanley?
not
Are
really.
you proud?
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No?
That one needs a bit of work.
Pale
Yeah.
with shame. Pale with shame. Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar. No. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is.
No, you
That's
really
what will
don't.
make me the king of comedy again.
You
More
really...
instructional
No.
videos. Let's see.
Quit raising your hand. Put your hand down. Oh, credits froze. Okay. Let's call it there. Ending screen. Okay. Thank you everybody for stopping by, hanging out. I have had a load of fun playing this stream. But I think that's probably the end of Stanley Parable. Obviously, there are 1 or 2 endings that I haven't gotten. I know one of them only has a chance of... You only have a chance of getting, and other ones you have to get, like, activate sheets or do something through very random things. Like, one of them you have to play the baby game for 4 hours non-stop, which would be great. I think that'd be like a fun stream. But you also... There's like a bad person ending, which I think I got the bucket bad person ending, but there's at the end there. But obviously there would have been a bucket good person ending where when he puts you at the 2 doors, you can go on the right path. And obviously without the bucket, you can rebel against him. And there's a secret disco room. I'm not sure what that is. But yeah, there are a ton of different endings. Why did my animation stop? Okay. But yeah, anyways, there are a load of like, oh, that's why. It's being complainy. Okay. I see how it is. But yeah. So there were probably some endings that I didn't get to, but that we did most of the stuff. And obviously there were some achievements, but yeah, that was Stanley Parable. We'll be playing some other fun games. No stream Thursday or next Tuesday. I'm gonna have vacation. I'm gonna be on vacation, and so yeah. But we'll be back. I think that Thursday. That Thursday I'll be back. So yeah, very cool. It'll be very, very cool. So yeah, I hope you all had fun. I had a blast playing this game. Very fun to revisit it, I guess. I watched more than I had actually played. But yeah, it was very fun. And thank you everybody for the support throughout it. And I hope you all have a great and wonderful rest of your weeks. And I will see you in about a week and a half. Bye.